Good afternoon, YouTube. It's me on Rachel's page. Come to you live on YouTube. Well, usually I don't talk too much about the guys because there's so many other channels that talk about men's in May. Most of the time I might, if I do talk about guys, be like guys like Connor, Foster Lucky Charms McGregor, when he's always messing up, or John Bones Can't Get Right Jones whenever he messes up. But about a week ago, UFC had their pay-per-view, UFC 259, and the main event was Petr Yan, whatever his name is, versus Aljermain Sterling, and the co-main event was the Lion Ass Queen versus the Aussie Vampire. That was a disappointment. But anyway, Aljamain, which know about him, he fights in the bantamweight division. And the guy had a lot of promise. He's a pretty good fighter. You know, but this fight, well, he won, but not by a way like most fighters want to win. He won by disqualification, and now he's the new UFC bantamweight champion. Now, Petr Yan is from I think Russia or something like that, and he most definitely Aljamain Sterling. What I know about him, he's from Jamaica, he's Jamaican descent. And this was probably the biggest fight on the pay-per-view at 259. And there's a lot of talk about this fight. And anyway, from what information I know, what I learned, I heard that the fight was going pretty good, but really the fight was going away in Jan's direction. He was putting up a better defense compared to Aljamain. But then this happens. An illegal knee. Now, if you know anything about mixed martial arts, the rule is that you cannot strike an opponent when he's down. Even in a position where he's about to get up, you still cannot strike opponent. He's down. Even if it's just one knee, he's down. And it's vicious. From what the information that I gathered, that Jan was told by his corner in Russian to hit Jermaine Sterling with the knee, and that's just crazy, And this, people are on Sterling's back saying, "Well, he was a good actor. He was a good actor. He played a good role." What the hell are you talking about? This man gets hit by a illegal knee, and I don't know what any human being thinks. It kills me, because in mixed martial arts there's this a bit of racism and white supremacy in it, because it's a sport that white people thought, hey, it's ours, we don't want to share with anybody else. And Aljamain, even though he felt like he didn't deserve the win, it is his. We won. Be it by hook or by crook, he won. That's his title, and he has the right to be champion. And and they're talking about a rematch for Jan. He doesn't deserve a rematch. He should suspend it. This was a legal move. And I'm here. I'm watching on the internet how these other fighters are talking about how he was a good actor, like TJ Dillashaw. Well, Dillashaw right now, his ass is sitting at home because he got busted for taking steroids. So we don't need to hear anything from a cheater. So TJ, keep your mouth shut. Then also you have Fat Cakes here, Daniel Cormier, DC, who from which I was told, he was told by a good friend of his by the name of Khabib that Khabib heard, because Khabib's Russian. He heard the corner tell Jan to strike Sterling with the knee. And then you got DC talking about, he shouldn't be allowed to shut up, Fat Cakes. And then you can't remember, he got his ass knocked out by John Jones with elbow, and he's crying like a baby. And remember years ago, John Jones was in a fight. He hit a guy. It was a fighter by the name Hamilton who was deaf. You remember him? And I remember I saw that fight, and he hit him with a legal elbow. And then people was on John Jones' case. But why aren't you on Jan's case? Why on Sterling's case? He's the victim, and some people like you know like DC who cuts a jig. Then you have Demetrius Johnson, DJ, aka Mighty Mouse. And you remember he used to hold, I think he held the flyweight title. And, and eventually, he lost his title to another fighter that which I talked to him about is Henry Sahu Ho or Burger King Jr. And then he gets sent to one championship. But you think he'd be in defense of somebody like Sterling? No. He's saying that, oh, Sterling's, he's acting, yeah, yeah. You know what? Your name should be Mighty Mouse, especially with your ears. That's ignorant, especially what happened to you. You were a undefeated champion. And then instead of them, pretty much saying, hey, you still retain your title, they give it to somebody else because they don't like you. Then you get sent to another organization, and you think the last thing you want to do is say, you know what, I'm not gonna be siding with these people. I think Sterling he got screwed over. He got hit hard. A lot of these fighters who experience this stuff should know that firsthand. But you know what? Some people, especially I'd say some black people, they like to cut a jig. Especially with somebody like Demetrius Johnson who got kicked out of the UFC. I think he would be a little bit more on Sterling's side. Then you got a man that I used to have some respect for, and that's Big John McCarthy. Or, well, if you follow us his combat sports, we call him Big Dumb McCarthy. And he's been in UFC, he's been mixed martial arts for years. He was one of the early referees back when the Gracie's owned the UFC. And right before Dana bought it out. He's been refereeing from different organizations, different groups all over the world. And then he's making the same claim about Sterling. And that's like haterism. Like I said, I used to have some respect for Big John, and I've seen him being in some of the biggest, baddest battles around. I've seen him break up some fights. I see him, tell guys, hey, get your shit together, and you would think, he would probably stand up more for Sterling, seeing something like that. And he's seen guys get wrecked worse than that, legally. But you know what? He don't talk about when Conor McGregor throw dollies at buses, or fight old men in bars, or he has rape charges against him, or the other stuff he does. But he would talk about John Jones, his stuff. It's fair is fair. You talk about one man's wrong, you should talk about another's. And like I said, I did have respect for you, Big Dumb, but I don't have any more. And then the one person who's speaking up for Aljermain Sterling is Chael P. Sonnen. Chael P. Sonnen. This guy, I mean, you wouldn't think that he'd be the one person to stick up for Aljermain, but he is. And you know what? Guy like Chael, you might think he's a jerk, but you know what? He tells you the truth. And he agrees that Sterling is the victim, not Jan. Jan was the one who committed the offense, and Jan shouldn't be awarded a rematch. He should be dropped down maybe about down to the rankings and climb his way up. And then there's Matt Serra, who used to work the corner for Aljermain. There's some issues going on, And I remember Matt Serra. Back in the day when he fought GSP and beat him for the title. And he's still around in the game. He does some radio shows every now and then and stuff like that. But you would think whatever issues between him and Sterling, you need to clear it up. And don't retire because whatever problems, you just gotta, y'all both grown men. You need to sit down and talk over what's the problem. Sit down as men and say, what's going on, what's happening, how can we settle this? We've been working together for years. Whatever issue y'all need to settle. And then, like I said, there's still talk about a rematch for Jan versus Sterling. Like I said again, Jan deserves no rematch. He should be suspended for the illegal knee. He should forfeit his pay. If it was anybody else, especially if somebody not black or any other minority, he, it's just a bunch of crap in the UFC. Not just UFC, but any MMA organization where there's a double standard. And this has to be pointed out. What it is that I think there's still that mentality that certain sports should be for certain people, but then when other people get into it, and becomes they start growing and getting more popular, and it's just pushing. It's just how it is. Like with baseball, basketball, boxing, sports that maybe someday with black people probably take over hockey. But hey, it's too cold, and I don't like. I don't watch hockey like that. But to Aljamain, man, this is just a setback in your life, and you are a champion. So I wouldn't worry about that. And you owe nobody an apology. You owe Jan nothing, not a damn thing. You owe him anything. You know, you are the champion. Take this. This is your win, no matter what it is. A win is a win. Like Vin Diesel said in Fast and Furious, be a yard or be it a mile. Be a yard, be it a mile. A win is a win, and that's what it is. You won, even though it may not the win you want to be. You won, especially in the fact that you feel like people you're gonna lose, but you won. So, be a proud black man. Hold your head high. Be proud that I'm a champion. And you don't owe nobody no explanation. You don't owe nobody no apologies. If anything, they should apologize to you. And like I said, Patron Jan, you are not allowed to. You shouldn't be allowed a rematch. You need to work yourself back up. You know, and that's the right. I mean, I don't know. You know how Dana White is. You know, you know, he don't believe in justice. He believes just for us. And that's not me, us. His us. Anyway, I would say congratulations to Aljermain Sterling, the UFC 135 champion. This your man, all the way, George Page. Like, don't like, subscribe, don't subscribe. I'm out.